Hello everybody. Today we're back with another Borderlands 2 video, and today we are going to be looking at a co-op focus build. And in particularly with this video, we're going to be looking at a 4-person build, and what I believe to be the strongest co-op build. Maybe not the strongest, but definitely one of the strongest, and one of my favorites to run if I'm playing a 4-player campaign. So I had some friends help me out with the video, and the gameplay will obviously be a bit further, and I'll link that in the description. And I'll go ahead and apologize in advance for the commentary, I guess. With 4 people, it's bound to be a little bit noisy, so yeah, keep that in mind. But overall, I think it's a good showcasing of the build, and the commentary isn't too bad or anything. I already went ahead and recorded that part. But yeah, just wanted to give a little warning. There's a lot of commotion when you have 4 people doing a build together. So yeah, a little different than my normal videos, but I thought doing something that could encompass 4 different characters and showcasing one of the better co-op builds, if not the best, would be really cool for people because, I mean, when it comes down to it, most people play Borderlands with their friends. So I thought, hey, why not make a video that is centered around playing with your friends? So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start. First, the first member of the team is Gaige. And this is pretty much my elemental Gaige build. So we have the Slagga for our slagging weapon to help out the team. We have the Hail to keep us with some good sustain and also give us some good damage. Excuse me, sorry. I've talked about the Hail many times before in multiple different videos, but it's a very high damage weapon. It's a Moxie weapon, so it heals us. It just does a lot of things well. I like the Hail a lot. So we'll be relying on that. The Storm is sort of our long-range weapon, some good DPS, synergizes well with an elemental Gaige build. And then we have the Twister for our up-close and personal weapon to do some very high DPS. Next, we are using the Hide Terramorphous, and that is entirely because of Death Trap. We want to buff Death Trap's Roid damage as much as possible, and this is the best shield to do so. In a solo environment, you could switch to the Hide of Terramorphous, sorry, and summon Death Trap, and then switch back to your normal shield, whether that be the Blockade, Antagonist, whatever. But in a co-op environment, it's too high-paced, or too fast-paced, I should say, to like switch back and forth. So we'll just stick with the Hided Terror to buff Death Trap as much as possible. Excuse me. Next, we have the Quasar. I like the Chain Lightning on Gaige because it usually does really good damage and helps keeps us healed with the Hail. But I like the Quasar a lot in a co-op environment because you can help group up the enemies and allow your teammates to basically just annihilate whatever you group up. The Quasar is one of the best team grenades in the game, so this is a great choice. Shockbone of the Ancients, buff all these shock weapons. Gaige is really good with shock weapons. Pretty much a no-brainer. And then the Catalyst class mod. This is my favorite elemental Gaige comm to begin with, and I specifically chose it within a co-op environment because it gives team effect damage. So not only are you really helping your elemental damage reach its maximum potential, but you're also buffing your team's elemental effect damage. And with this team, you will notice that's going to be quite useful. We have quite a few elemental users in this team composition, so it's quite good. And for the sake of keeping the video a little bit shorter and not crazy long, since we have to cover multiple builds here, we're not going to go too crazy in the build. So here it is. Essentially, the idea here is to do really solid elemental damage, which provides us with good sustain, good damage, and also buff Death Trap. Um, Death Trap provides awesome aggro relief in co-op, but at the same time, he provides great damage, especially on the unofficial community patch, which is what we are running for this build. So I found this build to be highly effective with 4 players. Death Trap, even on 4-player with this build, was doing still a very significant amount of damage. I found that my own character was still doing good damage even on 4-player, and the survivability was great, especially in conjunction with the other characters. So I found this to be highly effective and really fun. I think Gaige is really good in a co-op environment, focusing on the elemental skills and Death Trap. Death Trap provides great aggro relief for your teammates. The Catalyst comp provides great elemental damage for your teammates. You steal. Oh my gosh, can't speak. You still deal good damage while also buffing your team with the Catalyst team effect damage. So yeah, guys, I think this is a nice addition to any 4-player co-op run. good survivability, good damage, and good aggro control. You can't ask for much more. So with Gaige done, let's go ahead and move on to the next character. Alright, so moving on to the next character in the co-op build, we have the legendary Nurse Maya. This is basically what I ran in my other co-op video, with one slight alteration, and that is the evolution instead of the blockade. But we'll go over the gear real quickly just to clarify and reiterate. So we have the Becca, the Butcher, the Pimpernel, and the Bada-Boom. So the Becca and the Pimpernel have great synergy with chain reaction and phase lock or thought lock. In this case, we are using thought lock, sorry. And they're very good weapons to use that will inadvertently heal your teammates, which is something we're going to be doing with the restoration skill. So the Becca and the Pimpernel are both great for that. The Butcher is really good with thought lock in particular because with the thought lock Maya build, you can really play a lot more aggressively because you have so much aggro control that you can kind of get in their face and just deal some damage, and that's why we have the Butcher. Then the Bada Boom is just our fight for your life weapon. So yeah, these are all just generally great Maya weapons. It doesn't really matter what build you're running, but these weapons in particular have great synergy with chain reaction, have a good ability to heal your teammates, and also do good damage. That's why I like them. So the biggest change here is the evolution. So the evolution gives max health, elemental resistance, which is really nice. The capacity is respectable, but the max health is really nice because elated, which when we have an enemy phase locked or thought locked, it regenerates 10% of your max health. This health is actually dependent upon your health. So the amount everyone else regens is dependent upon how much max health you have. So getting more max health actually means the rest of the team heals more. So the evolution is a great choice for a Nurse Maya. And a shout out to one of my viewers for pointing that out to me. I believe his name is Flare V2. I may be mistaken, but yeah, it's a really good point. The max health from the evolution will actually increase the amount of healing Elated does, and therefore the evolution is a great choice. And if you really want to, you could run the Blood of the Ancients for even more max health for more healing, but I prefer the cooldown rate. So yeah, evolution, legendary nurse for the team health regen, another team skill in conjunction with our team elemental effect damage with Gaige, really nice. And a lot of skills that are boosted here will help the team. Quasar, again, this is going to help the rest of the team. We're going to use the Quasar to group things together and help everyone else just sort of obliterate everything in their path. Putting them close together, especially with the rest of the members of the team, just makes it easier to kill them. Quasar is a great grenade for that. I love it in co-op. Then the Fire Bone of the Ancients. Use whatever Bone of the Ancients you see fit, but we will be running through a map with a lot of flesh enemies, so the Fire Bone of the Ancients makes the most sense. And here is the skill build. Excuse me. So again, this is basically my Nurse Maya build. Not really a lot of alterations here, actually, at all. The idea is to keep your team sustained. With 10 points and elated, plus the evolution max health, you're significantly healing your team every time you use Thought Lock, Phase Lock. I would say elated, restoration, and Thought Lock are the cornerstone of the build here. So restoration is 60% of our damage is converted into health, and we also get 30% more max health, which means more healing from elated. So every time we cast Thought Lock, we will be healing significantly. And you'll notice in the gameplay video, I'm playing Gaige, and basically every time that my friend, or my little brother actually, Cade, casts Thought Lock, I'm basically getting healed to full almost instantly. This is an awesome skill in conjunction with Elated, and of course, if he shoots any of us, it practically full heals us because it's OP10. You do so much damage on OP10 that shooting your teammate even once or twice is like a full heal. So this skill is fantastic for a nurse build on OP10. Highly recommend it. It has great synergy with Elated. And then again, the last cornerstone of the build is Thought Lock, because it provides such a significant amount of aggro relief. I just recently did a Thought Lock build, and I was really impressed by it. Every time I cast Thought Lock, the enemies would just start attacking each other, which is the point of the skill, but I didn't realize just how much they would focus each other. They almost completely ignore you, and that still applies to co-op. The enemies will practically ignore you and hit each other, and it allows for you to just shoot them and have a complete free reign on the battlefield. It gives you so much aggro relief and reduces the amount of damage the team takes overall by a huge amount. So yeah, the main idea with this build is to provide a significant amount of healing, a significant amount of crowd control, while also providing respectable damage per second. Maya is sort of the cornerstone of any co-op Borderlands build. Out of all of the builds that I'll showcase here, I think Maya is the most important, and I think this is the best co-op build you can do for Maya in general. This is so much crowd control, very respectable damage, and very respectable healing. No other character can bring this to the table, so definitely make sure you're running this for the co-op build. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next character. Alright, we are back with the third character in the co-op build, and that is Legendary Reaper Krieg. So let's go ahead and run through the gear. We've got the Slagger for another slag option. Peak Opener can proc Bloodbath for us, benefits from the team elemental effect damage from Gaige, and is just a premier option on Krieg because of its ability to proc Bloodbath and also its insane DPS on its own. The Butcher, I would recommend a Fire Butcher, obviously for the flesh purposes, and that's what my friend uses because we run through Bloodshot Stronghold, but I just had a practicable corrosive one on me, so I just use that instead. But just use the element according to the situation. It's very high DPS and benefits quite nicely from Bloodbath once you proc it with the Peak Opener or the Hellfire. And that is the last weapon we will get to here. He uses the Hellfire. It can proc Bloodbath, does great elemental damage, synergizes well with the Hellborn build, but you could definitely substitute a rocket launcher here, and you could also substitute different shotguns for the Butcher like the Carnage, Conference Call, Interfacer, etc. Really whatever you feel is best. Moving on, we have the Flame of the Firehawk, great fire damage, can proc Bloodbath as well, and gives us some good sustain in conjunction with Elemental Empathy. It's a very good skill. Legendary Reaper. So on the UCP, I'm not sure why it doesn't say it, but the Legendary Reaper does give team kill skill duration. It doesn't say it here. I don't really get why. Maybe someone knows in the comments. But the Legendary Reaper does indeed give team kill skill duration. I know for a fact it does in the vanilla game, and it certainly seemed like it was in the UCP as well, but I'm not sure why it doesn't specifically state it does in the UCP. In the vanilla game, it should say team kill skill duration. And overall, it doesn't really matter. It affects the team, and that's why we're using it here. Well, partially. The team kill skill duration is awesome, basically doubling the kill skill duration. But this comm is just amazing on Krieg even solo. It's particularly its conjunction with Bloodbath, which is something I've talked about before. It really increases your DPS. Next, we have the Pandemic. This is basically going to keep us on fire and allow us to stack Bloodlust very quickly, and that's the main purpose. And then a Firebone of the Ancients to take maximum effect of the Flame of the Firehawk and the Butcher and the Hellfire. And here we have the build. The idea is to maximize our DPS with the Hellborn Tree. We get some survivability from Elemental Empathy with our elemental damage. And Thrill the Kill gives us some more survivability. Redeem the Soul is great in co-op because you can instantly revive your teammates. And you also just have a really high fight for your lifetime, which is nice in co-op. Do good burn damage with Burn Baby Burn. Value point and Fuel the Fire helps make sure you get the elemental effect chance off and self-ignite. And yeah, really with the Pandemic, you should not have any trouble keeping yourself on fire. And you'll be doing great damage with all these Hellborn skills, and you'll also have good survivability. And of course, the bread and butter of Legendary Reaper Krieg is Bloodbath. 500% weapon damage at 100 Bloodlust stacks is absolutely insane. And of course, the grenade drop chance that you get with this kill skill is also great because you'll continuously feed your team grenades. So the entire team can be pretty liberal with their grenade usage, and it's very nice. And plus, Krieg has awesome synergy with Nurse Maya. Nurse Maya can instantly res him with Res, the skill, and he can instantly res her with Redeem the Soul. And once she gets up, she can instantly res him back, and they're both back on their feet. That is an awesome little synergy, but also the insane amount of max health per second that she gets from Elated with Restoration and Evolution helps Krieg stay alive and continuously deal more damage. and give those kill skills to the team and buff up himself. So yeah, it's really high DPS and it's really nice in a co-op format. So let's go ahead and move on to the last character of the co-op build. Alright, so finally we are at the last member of the build, and that is Axton the Commando. So let's quickly run down through the gear again. So first we have the Slaga. Again, just a slag option. The turrets will obviously help us slag. Gaige can help us slag with interspersed outburst and by using the Make It Sparkle skill and applying slag to Death Trap. And Maya with Thoughtlock, Ruin, and Converge can also slag quite well, but it never really hurts. There's going to be situations where sometimes you just don't have slag, and it's best to have it than not to have it, in my opinion. Next, we have the Blockhead. Again, we were running through a flesh area. This is a great shotgun, high DPS. It benefits from grenade damage, so it synergizes really well with Axton's kit because he has a lot of grenade damage. So the Blockhead's a great choice. Very high DPS. Would highly recommend it. And it's also easy to obtain. The Bearcat is the next one. This is a gun that gets buffed in the UCP. Obviously, in a flesh scenario, you would use the Fire Bearcat, which is what my friend used in this scenario. Does very high DPS and just very good damage overall. Its buffs from the UCP really help it out a lot. So this is a weapon you should definitely give a shot if you're on the UCP. Synergizes pretty well with Axton's kit. It can really buff up its fire rate and reload speed, which is some of its weaknesses. Sorry. So yeah, would highly recommend that. And then your last weapon is sort of your fight for your life and utility weapon. Bada Boom, World Burn, Tunguska, Creamer, really whatever you want to use here. Herald, basically is sort of a utility weapon, whatever you feel is best. There's plenty of options. So for the shield, we have the antagonist, just a good shield, the bullet deflection, the capacity, recharge delay, recharge rate, everything about the shield is just solid. Nothing much to say other than that. In the video, my friend uses a fire bee. The anti-infection is basically the higher DPS version of that. He didn't have it, so we didn't use it. Either is fine. They're both very good. Honestly, Axton has tons of grenade choices. We were just running a flesh area, so I thought, why not maximize the fire damage? But all of these that you see here are fantastic options. But the Fire Bee and Anti-Infection will wreak havoc on flesh enemies. And since, again, we were running through a flesh area, the Firebend and the Ancients makes a lot of sense, so that's what we did. And the cooldown rate is much appreciated. And then lastly, we did the Heavy Gunner class mod. The team fire rate is awesome for everyone on the team, of course. So you'll notice that all 4 members of the party have some sort of team buff, which honestly makes a huge difference. So we get the team fire rate from Axton, we get the team elemental effect damage from Gaige, we get the team kill skill duration from the Psycho, and we get team health regen from the Siren. That's pretty great. That's a lot of buffs. And the team fire rate also applies to the turrets, which I made a video about before. So it's very, very nice. And the Metal Storm, Overload, and Steady are great skills to buff as well. So here's the build. The idea is to allow Axton to do some solid DPS, while also buffing his turret with skills like Laser Sight, Sentry, Double Up for slagging opportunities, Scorched Earth, Longbow Turret, Maglock, Phalanx Shield, Resourceful so we have more uptime on the turret, and of course Gemini. So with the Heavy Gunner and all of these skills, the turret actually has pretty ridiculous fire rate. And what's nice about Axton in a co-op environment is that not only do the turrets do very respectable damage, they provide some much needed aggro relief. That's kind of the theme of this build, is that everyone in this co-op build, I wouldn't say any of them do exceptional damage. I think all of them do very respectable damage. Maybe with the exception being Krieg. As soon as he procs Bloodbath, he does insane damage. Everyone else just does pretty good damage. But with Gaige's Death Trap, with Axton's double turrets, and Maya's Thoughtlock, you have so much control of the battlefield that it doesn't really matter. Everything just dies. Everyone is always at full health, basically. And you'll notice that in the gameplay, the only times we die is actually when we kill ourselves. That's it. We don't actually really die from the enemies. We have so much sustain and aggro control that the only thing that we can really die from is ourselves by messing up. And that does happen. So yeah, overall, I think this is one of the best co-op builds in the game, at least for 4-player. Axton, Gaige, Krieg, and Siren. So much healing, so much aggro control, very respectable damage, elemental damage. It goes on and on. They all sort of cover each other's weaknesses. They all buff each other. It feels like a nice cohesive team. And if you're looking to maximize your co-op experience in Borderlands, I think this is really the comp for you. And I think it's very noob friendly or newcomer friendly, whatever you want to call it. Like most of my friends in this video, we put it on OP10, like the hardest difficulty, level 80. Most of them barely play this game and we breeze through it. I think that's a bit of a testament to just how good this co-op build is. So yeah, guys, give it a try and I hope you enjoy the gameplay. Alright, so here we are with a co-op Borderlands build that hopefully our frame rates can handle.
Negative.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah, we have some friends here. Got Will back again,
Yo.
playing Krieg again.
As usual.
And my brother Cade playing Maya. That's a hideous skin. And then
Woo!
Fitz
Reported.
playing Axton. And
Default
yeah,
skin.
we'll go ahead. Hopefully it doesn't break the game like it has the last
Wait,
few times
Fitz,
we've
you
tried
can
that.
crouch? Dude, my crouch button doesn't work.
Maybe you should try C instead of control.
It's actually.
that work?
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't. I thought it was
That's
control.
You can. I mean, I have mine on control, but what the? Off to a good start. I killed myself. Thanks.
I got you. Don't worry.
I walked into my Quasar.
This is a noob mistake.
It's always unfortunate when you walk into a gravitation
I feel like-
flux.
I
Aren't you
just
supposed to
did
be
the
a
same
streamer?
thing. I feel like 90% of deaths in this game are you,
Are
you
self-inflicted.
shooting a wall,
Yeah.
killing
A barrel,
yourself.
your own grenade, you
Yeah,
name it. Never an enemy.
especially
No,
as a
not
buddy.
unless it's the Reborn and they have a conference call.
Yeah, oh my.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sorry.
The
yep.
assassin.
The frame rate is
we need
coming.
to set up. We need
Yeah.
to set up a firing squad
I
type
know.
lineup so that we don't accidentally shoot each other and then unfortunately ourselves.
Alright, he's dying pretty fast. Yeah.
Alright,
so
nice.
We have like, I think all of us did it, maybe except Fitz. We turned off like a bunch of graphic settings because it was just way too much. Even with that being
2080
said, I'm still
like-
seeing
My computer
quite a
crashed
lot.
4 times.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is
wait, I
better.
can heal Death Trap?
This is much better.
That's probably why he's surviving.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I can,
No,
I
no,
can.
you can shoot him.
Yeah, it shows the healing bar too.
I think it's barely healing him, but yeah.
Yeah,
it
but it's
looks
still
like it is.
doing it, I
That's pretty nice.
suppose.
The healing's
Interesting.
really weird with him. It seems like only certain sources work. I just killed myself again. God damn it.
My turret's on the little spinny thing over there. If you see it, just kind of
Where is it?
Look at the wheel.
The wheel.
Oh, I
You see
see.
the shield?
Oh. Wow.
That's for you right there.
Expert placement.
When it'll come back, nobody knows.
I know.
May. Oh,
Yeah,
man's
this is
down.
pretty good though. Like this setup. There's so
Yeah.
much crowd control. On 4
Like I
player,
said,
it takes
the
forever
only
to
deaths
kill
we
anything.
seem to have are from self-inflicted wounds.
Oh
so
yeah, 100%.
we're good.
This
Oni.
guy's beefy. I forget how much HP they have on 4 player. It's actually kind of insane.
4-player OP10. It's
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a lot. This build this setup has a lot of survivability though, and pretty good damage.
I'm about to butcher this
Yeah,
homie.
let's kill the One guy. 180.
He's pretty low.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Oh, Nisama.
Uh-oh.
Pick up some
Okay, I
ammo
think he's
real
dead.
quick.
Yeah, he is.
Alright, now we can move on. Good lord. Alright.
Did,
Oh,
did we win?
We'll reset for a second. And then, yeah, so we won, dude.
Alright, video's over. Let's go. That was fun.
Alright, we're good. Keep coming back this way.
Nice.
Towards one.
Huh?
This way. This is how you progress.
Oh, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't know that there was more to
Oh
this map.
my
I thought this was
gosh. The Bearcat projectiles everywhere. Are you trying to? What are you doing?
Make sure
Ricochet
everybody's
trick
with us.
shot. Wait, so
Ricochet
shoot Death
360
Trap
quick.
really quick. I want to see how much you're healing him for. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay, that's actually really
that's a
good.
good amount.
That's really nice. That was a
That's
synergy
a
I
good
didn't even know that. That's actually great.
Yeah, I saw like a ton of healing bars coming up. I'm like, what? Ooh.
That makes more sense.
Bomber.
Yeah,
Watch
just
out.
group them up, and yeah, that worked pretty well. Oh my. Yeah, the visual clutter's not as bad now that I turned off all this.
No.
This actually feels like I'm playing a normal game.
Why would you ever want to feel like that playing Borderlands? I don't want to see anything but the fire and explosions after I shoot one time.
It's a great.
I don't even know I don't want to know what an enemy model looks like.
Most of the time you don't if you're playing Krieg alone, much less with 4 other people.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Poor
I've seen
Krieg,
them
question mark?
the whole game. I don't have to worry about these guys.
I know.
All I do is walk around and hold left
I
click.
mean, most of these characters are pretty hands-off. Technically we could all just kind of stand still. Throw out Death Trap, throw out the turrets, AFK with the Flame of the Firehawk on Krieg.
Wreath.
Yeah. Oh man, I
don't
keep killing
have it.
myself with the Quasar.
I don't have,
It's fine. One of you should be able to get me up here in a minute.
Uh,
There we go.
wait, no,
I
like,
should
gotcha.
have phase lock now. No. I got
Nope.
it.
nice.
Okay. Yeah, that was my bad. I've walked into a Quasar. I think that's the 3rd time now.
It looks like we're the streamers here, not this guy.
Yeah, I think we're streaming.
Yeah. Streaming.
Streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chat,
I'm
chat,
bad with
chat,
the
chat.
Quasar.
Alright.
I do the same.
F in the
Like,
chat,
every time I
boys.
use the Quasar, I feel like I just kill myself with it. It has a
Nice.
deceptively long range. Like,
Lunatic.
it doesn't seem like it will hit you from where it's at.
Ouch! Ouch! That was ouch.
I warned you.
It's okay.
Yeah. Shut up, Will.
The volume. Alright.
Good.
Now we're getting some Krieg dialogue.
Oh.
Not enough.
Yeah, you think the flaming lunatics like
What
fire?
is that turret shooting at on the ceiling?
Hey,
I-
my name's Kareem.
I
Rockets.
don't know. Whatever its heart feels like. The turrets are a bit buggy, to say the least. So is Death Trap, actually. We have a few buggy things going on. That's what makes this build so beautiful. Ow. The fuck was that? I think I got hit by a bomb.
This guy was a
Just pulled him
nomad.
up so far.
Just uppercutted him.
Ouch.
I know. Jesus.
Yeah,
Damage,
really.
son. Nice.
Oh,
If you got your turrets, throw them like right in front of the door. there.
dough.
Yeah, this is the
And
big
then
boss.
Try to
How many doors they need?
Thought lock roof. If you can. Doesn't really matter, but it'll probably help a little bit. Nice. He's just walking. Because of thought lock.
very
It's like anything going on here?
So, yo, dude, he just left the nightclub. He just walked out of his doors. He's like, yo team.
Alright, should be good.
Alright. Yeah, that was it.
I just
Nice.
kept shooting.
That didn't take too
Incredibly
long,
easy.
actually. It's like 7 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty quick clear. Especially
Yeah.
considering it's 4-player health. Like, stuff's tanky.
Yeah.
Which I think is a testament
Give
to
me
the
the money.
setup. This is a strong build. Or team comp, whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when you finish. Is a big idiot.
thanks for joining, everyone. And I apologize for my little brother's ear rape. But
Wow.
hopefully it wasn't too loud.
Ear rape? I wasn't that loud. I don't think.
I think you're louder than you think. But that's okay.
Wow.
Alright, crash this
we
game. Crash
we
this
still
game.
love you.
Stop.
I'm
No,
sorry. But
I'm
yeah.
only loud when I do my silencer impressions.
Alright. Well, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you next time.